Most people spend their entire lives waiting for that one call, that one person, that one moment when everything will suddenly fall into place. They stand still hoping opportunity will walk through the door and announce itself. But opportunity doesn't work that way. It doesn't knock politely. It doesn't come dressed in gold and comfort. Opportunity hides inside your discomfort. It waits for you to move. The illusion of opportunity is one of the greatest traps humanity has ever fallen into. We've been taught since childhood that success is about being in the right place at the right time, knowing the right people, having the right luck. But that belief kills potential before it even breathes. You don't need to wait for the right time. The right time begins when you decide to start. When you think opportunity is external, you give away your power. You begin to live like a beggar, waiting for permission to live the life that's already yours. You wait for signs, approvals, and perfect conditions. But here's the truth: conditions never become perfect. There's always another reason to delay, always another excuse to justify why you can't. The people who change their lives are not the ones who waited for the storm to pass. They're the ones who learned to dance in the rain. They understood that opportunity is not a visitor. It's a creation. It's born out of vision, out of persistence, out of the refusal to let time dictate destiny. You see, opportunity is not found. It's forged. It's built in silence, in the moments when no one is watching, when your mind whispers, why bother? And you still do it anyway. Most people never reach that point. They wait for motivation to strike before they move. But motivation is the byproduct of movement. The act of doing generates the energy that keeps you going. Waiting for the right move, the right inspiration, or the right circumstances, like waiting for a ship that has already sailed. You are the ship. You are the captain. You are the wind that pushes it forward. Look around you. Every invention, every discovery, every empire was created by someone who refused to wait. They looked at a world that offered them nothing and decided to build something. The people who made history didn't wait for history to include them. They picked up a hammer and carved their names into it. They weren't lucky. They were relentless. They understood that opportunity isn't something that appears out of thin air. It's something that manifests when you prepare, when you move, when you commit to something bigger than your fears. Waiting gives you comfort, but creation gives you control. Waiting feels safe because it doesn't expose you to failure, but it also doesn't expose you to growth. The illusion of opportunity is a cage built by comfort. Every time you say, I'll start, when you tighten the bars around your own potential, you silence the very force that was designed to make you extraordinary. Opportunity is not a lottery ticket. It's a blueprint. And the tools to build it are already in your hands. The problem is, most people never pick them up. Every day you wait, you trade potential for hesitation. You trade what could be for what's convenient. But greatness doesn't grow in convenience. It grows in conviction. The person who creates their opportunity isn't the one with more talent or resources. It's the one who refuses to be still. Waiting feels easier because it keeps you away from rejection, away from the unknown. But the unknown is where life begins. Every breakthrough, every transformation, every new chapter of greatness is written in uncertainty. The illusion makes you think someone else holds the keys, a boss, a system, a connection. But the keys were always in your pocket. You've been looking outside for something that was never out there. The moment you stop waiting, the universe starts responding. The world doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards movement. When you take the first step, something shifts inside you. Your confidence, your energy, your direction. It's not about being ready. It's about being willing. Readiness is a myth created by fear to keep you from beginning. You have to understand that opportunity isn't an event. It's a mindset. It's a frequency, and you can't tune into it by standing still. The people who wait miss it because opportunity doesn't shine like a spotlight. It glows like a spark, and only those who are moving can catch it. If you wait too long, the spark fades, and you're left wondering what could have been. The most painful words in the human language are, what if? What if I started earlier? What if I tried one more time? What if I stopped waiting? The illusion of opportunity teaches you to chase instead of create, to hope instead of build, to dream instead of decide. It's time to break that illusion. Because the world doesn't owe you a moment, it's giving you this one. Right now, in this breath, in this thought, you have everything you need to begin building your own path. Opportunity doesn't live in time, it lives in intention. It responds to those who move without certainty, who build without guarantees, who believe before results appear. That's where true power begins, not in waiting for the door to open, but in realizing you were born with the ability to build one yourself. Everything changes the moment you decide. Not when you wish, not when you hope. Not when you say you want it, but when you decide. Decision is not a thought, it's a command. It's the moment your mind stops entertaining excuses and starts demanding results. Most people never understand that the real power to transform their life lies not in their circumstances, not in luck, not in timing, but in their ability to decide who they will become and what they will no longer tolerate. A true decision is like a lightning strike. It cuts through confusion, burns away hesitation, and lights up a clear path forward. The problem is, most people think they've made a decision when all they've done is express a preference. They say, I want to be successful, or I'll try to do better. But that's not a decision. That's a wish with no backbone. A decision has energy behind it, a force that makes the universe move. When you truly decide, You eliminate all other possibilities. You close the door to doubt, and you burn the bridge back to the old version of yourself. That's what separates dreamers from doers. Dreamers think about what they want. Doers decide to get it, no matter the cost. A decision doesn't wait for confidence. Confidence is born after the decision. People wait until they feel ready, but readiness never comes. The person who achieves greatness stands that decisions create clarity, and clarity creates momentum. Once you commit, the path has to reveal itself piece by piece. Life starts responding to your energy. Every choice, every step, every challenge starts aligning itself with that one decision. But until you decide, you're stuck between two worlds. One foot in your potential and one foot in your excuses. The most powerful force on earth is a human being who's made up their mind. You can't stop them. You can't distract them. They move with a kind of conviction that shakes the ground they walk on. That's why indecision is the silent killer of dreams. It keeps people trapped in cycles of maybe and someday. Indecision breeds confusion, and confusion paralyzes growth. The moment you decide, however, the fog lifts. You stop asking, can I, and start asking, how will I? You stop waiting for signs, because the decision is a sign. When you look at anyone who's built something remarkable, an empire, a legacy, a movement, it all began with one defining moment of decision. They reached a point where continuing to live the same way became more painful than changing. They said, enough settling, enough waiting, enough playing small. That single word becomes the birthplace of transformation, because a decision doesn't just alter your path, it rewires your identity. It changes what you believe you're capable of. Once you decide, the world around you begins to shift, because you start moving differently, thinking differently, and showing up with a new kind of energy that commands attention. Decision gives life direction. Without it, you drift. You wake up every day reacting instead of creating. But once you decide, your life gains structure, your priorities sharpen, distractions lose their power because your focus becomes laser. Like you stop chasing everything and start mastering something. Decision simplifies life because it removes confusion. It's no longer should I, or maybe I'll try. It becomes I will. Those two words change everything. People spend years searching for motivation, but motivation is weak compared to decision. Motivation fades when you're tired, when it's hard, when you don't see results. But decision doesn't care about your emotions. Decision is a contract you sign with your future self. It's the moment you tell the world, I'm all in, even when it hurts, even when it's lonely, even when no one believes. That's where power lies, in the unwavering commitment to a choice you refuse to back away from. The truth is, every legacy is built from decisions made in private, long before anyone clapped, noticed, or believed. The decision to wake up earlier, the decision to keep going after failure, the decision to invest in yourself when it's uncomfortable, the decision to act like the person you want to become, even before you see the results. That's what shapes destiny. You can't control every outcome, but you can control your choices. And the moment you take full ownership of that truth, you stop feeling powerless, because now your results are no longer random, they're intentional. Decision is the ultimate declaration of self-trust. It's saying, I believe in my ability to figure it out. You won't have all the answers when you decide, and you're not supposed to. The answers appear as you move forward. Life rewards those who act with faith, not fear. The longer you hesitate, the louder your doubts become. But when you decide, your doubts lose oxygen. They can't survive in motion. Decision silences the noise because action becomes louder than thought. Every transformation begins that single internal shift from I wish to I will. Once you cross that line, you start to experience a new level of certainty, even in uncertainty. You begin to trust the process, not because it's easy, but because you know you've already chosen who you're going to be. You stop asking for guarantees and start creating them through discipline, repetition, and unwavering belief in your decision. That's the point where ordinary people become unstoppable. Everything ever created by human hands began as a picture in someone's mind. Every city skyline, every invention, every masterpiece you've ever admired started as an image that no one else could see. Imagination is not child's play. It's the workshop of creation. It's the place where you design your reality before it ever takes form. Most people underestimate this power because they've been taught to only believe in what they can see. But those who build legacies understand that what you see in your mind consistently, you will eventually hold in your hand. Imagination is not just daydreaming. It's the most advanced tool of creation ever given to you. It's the power that separates existence from excellence. The problem is most people have allowed life to drain their imagination. When they were children, they could see anything. Their minds were limitless. They could turn a small box into a castle, a stick into a sword, a whisper into a world. But as they grew, society told them to be realistic. They were taught to conform, to fit, to follow the visible. They traded imagination for logic, and in doing so, they traded potential for limitation. The greatest mistake anyone can make is to believe that imagination is useless. Imagination is the blueprint of your destiny. It's the silent architect behind every breakthrough the world has ever witnessed. Think about it. Before there was electricity, there was a mind that saw light. Before there was an airplane, there was a mind that saw flight. Before there was communication across oceans, there was a mind that saw connection. The world didn't give these people permission to imagine. They gave themselves permission. They saw beyond what was into what could be. That's how reality is shaped. The physical world is nothing more than the shadow of what once existed in thought. Your imagination is the drawing board on which the unseen becomes seen. When you understand this truth, you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start changing the pictures in your own mind. Because everything you experience is a mirror of what you've been imagining, consciously or unconsciously. If your inner world is filled with fear, limitation, and doubt, your outer world will reflect exactly that. But if you fill your mind with images of power, purpose, and abundance, life begins to align itself accordingly. The outer world bends to the shape of the images you hold most consistently within. That's why you must guard your imagination like it's sacred. Because it is. The legacy builders of the world live in their imagination long before the results appear. They walk through their dream before it exists. They see themselves as successful before anyone else does. They visualize the victory while everyone else still questions if it's possible. That vision becomes their compass. When the road gets hard, when doubt creeps in, when the world tells them to quit, that inner image pulls them forward. It whispers, keep going, it's already yours. That's the power of imagination. It gives your dream form before the world does. Imagination is more than visualization, it's emotional creation. When you imagine vividly, you don't just see it, you feel it. You experience it internally as if it's already real. And that emotional frequency begins to attract conditions that match it. It changes how you speak, how you think, how you move. The person who lives in their imagination doesn't act like someone waiting for change. They act like someone who already embodies it. That's why they stand out. That's why their energy feels different. They've already built the world they desire inside, and life is just catching up to it. Most people sabotage their imagination by using it against themselves. They use it to replay failure, to amplify fear, to visualize everything that could go wrong. They create pictures of loss, rejection, and disappointment, and then wonder why those things keep appearing in their life. Imagination doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you fear. It simply manifests what you focus on most intensely. If you constantly imagine obstacles, you'll walk into them. But if you imagine solutions, doors begin to open. Your imagination is a silent servant that obeys your dominant thoughts. To create your legacy, you must take control of the images you allow to dominate your mind. Close your eyes each morning and see the person you are becoming, not the person you've been. See yourself walking in your purpose, speaking with confidence, living with abundance. The clearer the image, the stronger the belief. And the stronger the belief, the faster the manifestation. The people who appear lucky are not lucky. They are mentally disciplined. They have rehearsed their success so many times in their imagination that when it arrives, it feels familiar. They've already lived it within. The truth is, your imagination is the bridge between your current self and your higher self. Every time you engage it intentionally, you elevate your vibration. You start seeing possibilities instead of problems, and that mental shift alone changes everything. The world follows the imagination of those bold enough to dream. It always has. You don't need to wait for evidence. Your imagination is the evidence. It's the preview of your coming attractions, the rehearsal for your reality. When you master the ability to hold a vision so strongly that it feels real, life eventually bends to match it. The mind builds a path and reality follows. Dreams sound beautiful in your mind, but without action, they are nothing more than echoes of potential. You can think about success all day. Visualize the life you want, read every book, and listen to every speech, but until you move, nothing changes. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between desire and achievement, between imagination and legacy. You cannot think your way to greatness. You act your way there. Every empire, every movement, every invention was not just imagined. It was executed. The difference between people who dream and people who achieve is that achievers take the first step even when the road ahead is unclear. Most people get caught in the cycle of preparation. They plan, they analyze, they wait for the perfect moment. They convince themselves that one more book, one more idea, or one more conversation will prepare them for success. But perfection is the enemy of progress. The perfect time doesn't exist. The right moment is not waiting somewhere in the future. It's here, now, disguised as uncertainty. Action doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be consistent. Every small step taken in faith is worth more than 1,000 intentions left on paper. The world doesn't move for people who think about it. It moves for those who act on it. Action transforms knowledge into power. You can know everything there is to know about a skill, a goal, or a path, but until you apply it, it holds no weight. Knowledge without action is potential energy. It has no impact until you put it in motion. The greatest thinkers in the world are remembered not for what they thought, but for what they did with those thoughts. Every step you take creates a ripple. Every effort compounds, even when it doesn't seem like it. You might not see results right away, but every action builds momentum, and momentum creates miracles that thinking alone never could. There's a comfort in dreaming. It's safe. In your imagination, everything goes right. You never fail, never struggle, never fall. But in action, reality tests you. It exposes your weaknesses, challenges your belief, and forces you to grow. That's why so many people prefer dreaming over doing. It protects them from the discomfort of trying. But growth only happens when you move beyond comfort. The pain of effort is the price of transformation. You have to be willing to fail, to stumble, to learn, because every mistake is a lesson that refines your strategy and strengthens your spirit. Action breeds clarity. You don't need to have the entire plan figured out before you begin. Start with what you know and trust that the next step will reveal itself along the way. Most people want the full map before they take the first step, but life doesn't work like that. The map unfolds as you move. The path only becomes clear to those who are walking it. Waiting for certainty is the fastest way to kill your momentum. The people who accomplish the possible are not the ones who had all the answers. They're the ones who acted without them. They trusted that motion itself would create understanding. Every time you take action, you rewire your belief system. You teach your mind that you are capable, that you are resourceful, that you can create change. Confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build through repeated action. Each time you show up, even when you don't feel ready, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted to follow through. That self-trust becomes the foundation of your legacy. Action turns belief in experience, and experience strengthens faith. Soon, you stop asking, can I? And start declaring, I will. Action also separates the talkers from the doers. The world is full of people who talk about what they want, but very few are willing to do what it takes. Talk is easy because it costs nothing. Action costs energy, sacrifice, and courage. It demands discipline when no one is watching and persistence when results are invisible. It asks you to get up when you're tired, to keep pushing when you feel defeated, to show up again and again even when progress is slow. That's what builds a legacy, the ability to stay in motion when others stop. When you act, you invite momentum into your life. One action leads to another, and before you know it, you've built habits that define your future. The law of inertia applies to your dreams. Objects in motion stay in motion, and those at rest stay at rest. Once you start, it becomes harder to stop. The challenge is breaking the first barrier. That initial hesitation that whispers, wait. But the moment you move, even slightly, you break the spell of stagnation. You begin to feel alive again because life rewards movement. Action doesn't always bring immediate results, but it always brings transformation. You might not see success overnight, but every step shifts something within you. It builds resilience, discipline, and vision. Every effort compounds into strength, and strength compounds into success. The people you admire didn't wait for motivation. They created it through motion. They didn't wait for opportunity. They built it through effort. Action is the universal language of commitment. It tells the world, I mean it. You can't think your way into legacy. You have to move your way into it, one relentless step at a time. Your mind is the control room of your entire life. Everything you experience, every emotion, every decision, every result begins in your thoughts. You are not shaped by the outside world as much as you are shaped by how you interpret it. Two people can live through the same event. One sees a wall, the other sees a doorway. The difference is mindset. The person who learns to master their mind becomes unstoppable because once you gain control over your thoughts, you gain control over everything that flows from them. You become the author of your emotions, the architect of your destiny, and the guardian of your peace. Most people live as prisoners of their own thinking. They let fear, doubt, and negativity dictate what they believe is possible. The thoughts run wild, untrained, untamed, and those thoughts create chaos in their lives. The mind is a tool, but if you don't use it consciously, it uses you. Every belief, every limitation, every insecurity begins as a seed planted in your mind. And whatever you water grows. If you feed your mind with fear, it will grow hesitation. If you feed it with faith, it will grow power. The mind doesn't choose sides. It simply obeys your dominant thoughts. That's why mastering is not optional. It's essential. Every great transformation begins when you decide to take command of your mental environment. You cannot plant weeds and expect roses. The results you see around you are mirrors reflecting what you've been cultivating inside you. If your life feels chaotic, it's because your thoughts are being chaotic. If your life feels stuck, it's because your thinking has been stuck. The first law of mental mastery is awareness. You have to become aware of the thoughts that run through your mind daily. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to old programs, repeating the same mental scripts written years ago by fear, failure, or conditioning. But once you become conscious of them, you can replace them. Awareness gives you choice, and choice gives you power. The second law of mastery is discipline. You cannot control what thoughts enter your mind, but you can control which ones you entertain. You can't stop a bird from flying over your head, but you can stop it from building a nest in your hair. It's the same with thoughts. A negative thought may appear, but you decide whether it stays. Discipline means training your mind to focus on what empowers you, not what weakens you. It's a daily practice. Every time you catch yourself doubting, shift your focus toward possibility. Every time fear whispers, remind yourself that you've overcome before. Every time you feel small, remember that your potential has no boundaries. The mind learns through repetition, so the more you feed it truth, the more truth becomes your default. Mastering your mind is not about denying challenges. It's about redefining how you respond to them. The strongest people are not those who never face struggle, but those who refuse to let struggle define their mindset. They see obstacles as opportunities to strengthen their mental muscles. Every time you push through fear, your confidence grows. Every time you face uncertainty and keep going, your belief expands. The mind becomes resilient through resistance, just like the body becomes stronger through effort. The challenges that try to break you are actually shaping the power within you. Most people think success begins with action, but it actually begins with thought. Action follows belief. You can't act like a champion if you think like a victim. You can't build wealth if you constantly believe in lack. You can't attract love if your thoughts are filled with insecurity. The outer world rearranges itself to match your inner conversation. That's why it's crucial to guard what you think and say to yourself. Every word becomes instruction to your subconscious mind, and your subconscious doesn't argue, it executes. When you say, I can't, your mind finds reasons why you can't. When you say, I will, your mind finds ways to make it happen. You are always programming yourself. The question is, are you programming for power or limitation? The greatest gift of mastering your mind is freedom. You stop being reactive to circumstances. You stop letting other people's opinions disturb your peace. You stop living in fear of failure because you realize failure is only information, feedback that guides you forward. When you master your mind, you stop living by emotions that change like the weather. You start living by principles that keep you steady. Calmness becomes your strength. Focus becomes your weapon. Clarity becomes your advantage. You walk through life with direction because your mind is aligned with your purpose. Everything you want already exists in potential form, waiting for your mind to become ready to receive it. Your mind is the gatekeeper that either opens the door or keeps it closed. If you believe you're unworthy, you block it. If you believe it's possible, you attract it. The world doesn't change first, your mind does. Every revolution, every innovation, every legacy began when someone refused to let external conditions rule their internal world. They chose to think higher, to see further, to believe deeper. And that choice made them unstoppable. Legacy is not something you leave behind when you die. It's something you live every single day. It's not carved in stone or written on walls. It's written in how you show up, how you speak, how you make people feel, and how you choose to live when no one is watching. Most people think of legacy as something distant, something that happens at the end of life. But your legacy is being built right now, in this moment, through the decisions you make, the energy you give, and the impact you create in the lives of others. It's not about what people will remember when you're gone. It's about what you stand for while you're here. Legacy begins the moment you stop living for approval and start living for purpose. When you no longer move to impress others, but to express the truth within you. That's when legacy takes root. You can't build a meaningful legacy by chasing validation. It's built by serving a mission that's bigger than your ego. Legacy is not about fame or recognition. It's about contribution. It's about leaving something behind that continues to breathe after you're gone. An idea, an example, a spark of courage that inspires others to rise. Every time you choose integrity over convenience, discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, you're laying another brick in the foundation of your legacy. You don't need to have millions of followers or a global platform to create legacy. Legacy doesn't require an audience. It requires authenticity. The way you treat people, the energy you bring into a room, the love you give to your family, the consistency with which you pursue your goals, that's legacy in motion. You can be a janitor, a teacher, an artist, a builder, a dreamer. It doesn't matter what your title is. What matters is the spirit you bring to it. Legacy is not defined by what you do, but by how you do it. It's about pouring your heart into whatever is in front of you and leaving your fingerprints of excellence on everything you touch. The truth is, every action you take sends a message. Every day you're writing a story, and people are reading it. Your children, your peers, your community, even strangers who cross your path for only a moment. The way you handle failure, the way you handle success, the way you handle pressure, it all teaches something. You are shaping more lives than you realize. Legacy is influence, and influence doesn't come from authority. It comes from authenticity. The moment you start living your truth with conviction, your life becomes a lesson someone else will learn from. Too many people spend their lives waiting for a perfect opportunity to make a difference. But legacy doesn't wait for perfect timing. It's built through consistent action, through doing what's right even when it's hard. Every time you rise after falling, every time you forgive, when it's easier to hate, every time you keep faith, when the world says quit, you are creating legacy. The power of your example will reach farther than your words ever could. The world doesn't remember what you said as much as it remembers how you live. A true legacy isn't measured by possessions or titles. It's measured by transformation. Did you make others believe more in themselves? Did you awaken something powerful within the people around you? Did your life give someone else permission to dream? That's the essence of legacy. When you live your life with that level of purpose, your presence becomes a source of light that continues to glow long after you're gone. People might forget your name, but they'll never forget how your energy made them feel. Legacy requires courage, the courage to live differently, to go against the current, to follow the whisper of your soul instead of the noise of the crowd. It's easier to blend in, to settle, to stay silent, but legacy is born in those who dare to stand out. It's created by people who choose faith over fear and progress over perfection. Your legacy is not something you stumble into. It's something you build intentionally. Every time you choose to grow when you could stay the same, you're crafting the story that will outlive you. Living your legacy means embodying your principles even when it's unpopular. It means showing up with excellence when no one's clapping. It means giving your best when you can get away with average. That kind of integrity builds a vibration that never dies. It echoes through time, inspiring others to do the same. You don't need a monument to be remembered. You just need to live in a way that leaves people better than you found them. The smallest acts of kindness, the quiet moments of perseverance, the invisible sacrifices you make, they all become part of your legacy. Legacy is not about leaving the world with your name on it. It's about leaving the world with your impact in it. Every word, every decision, every gesture adds to the story of who you are and what you stood for. You are shaping history each day. You wake up with intention and move with purpose. Legacy is not what happens after your last break. It's what happens in every breath you take when you decide to live with meaning. When you stop waiting for permission to be great and start living as though your life itself is the message. That's when you begin to create a legacy that time cannot erase.